Hello guys and welcome back to Princess Lalassa and the Kingdom of Sarnor series. We are back in the last refuge after a week or so. In the last episode, what we did was just continue to build up the fortifications in the last refuge. As you can see, we have a pretty mighty levy here. We also figured out that we could basically get rid of the new administration debuff by just adding our marshal here, which I probably should have seen to earlier. But yeah, now we have the troops training up properly. We do also have marauding pirates on both our islands, which have purportedly been sent by the ruler of Exile, who we came to a couple of diplomatic incidents with, shall we say, in the last episode. And yeah, aside from that, new daughter, Sitara, and yeah. Wait, hold on. That's odd. I just noticed. We are matrilineally married, but my daughter came out with my husband's last name. I presume because she was born after he died? Yeah. So she's actually not of my line. Lucky she was a daughter then. But she is still second in line. I hadn't noticed that at all, to be honest with you guys. By the way, I know you still haven't added the Liberator trait, so I'm gonna cut out here and just, or no, I don't really have to cut out, I don't think. I can just do the console commands, right? There you go. Because, as I talked about in the last episode, I think that's fitting, as she's a slave, and I don't really meddle too much with console commands, but I think that's a cool one just for the narrative we're building with her. So, yeah, without further ado, let's get going. Maybe that'll change. Doesn't seem to be doing. But that actually is kind of good, because I did want to keep my husband's family alive. Plan was to give him possession of this title, and probably one of our children at some point. Title now known as Havash Ogat. Dothraki held land. But once we retake it, I could get her line in charge, as they are the Odedaras now. So I'll probably get my daughter's kids. Hopefully marry her matrilineally or something. And get her kids in charge of here. Now, what I do want to see, is there a Kingdom of Sarnor? Because this has a lot of small kingdoms in it. I just wanted to see if there was one properly for there. I don't know that there is. Yeah, whatever. It's tough to see with all the Dothraki stuff going on. One child is lacking a childhood focus, Vyomesh, and he is 6. So he does seem to be martially leaning. So maybe let's let him struggle a bit. I mean, we are in an island. He's not exactly going to be having counselors and noblemen to... You know what, I'm just going to completely not give any of the kids here the pride focus. Because although we do have a couple of noblemen, we really don't have enough to be grooming someone for rulership. I mean, we're fighting for scraps here in Last Refuge. Parth Drythroat, that's a really cool nickname that you didn't have. I like that. Yeah, we just don't have that many nobles to teach you. Etiquette, maybe, I suppose. He is slightly to diplomacy. Humility, don't love this one. Thrift and duty, I don't think I'm doing either of those. He's not very good in stewardship, and none of the faith focuses. So let's give him to struggle. He's going to be loosely tutored, chiefly being left to his own devices and to compete with other children. I assume there's not that many children in Last Refuge, but it would be nice for him to compete with the ones that are here, yeah. I do think he should be able to struggle a bit, as we obviously had to do when we were young. You know, he served as a slave and whatnot. We didn't have that much of a peaceful life in a castle, as a lot of the other heirs might have. You know, in this world at this time. So yeah, let's let the kids struggle a bit. Bodyguard. Still don't have anyone for that position aside from Isha. Which is a shame. Ooh, Yathavan's actually... military commander. Yeah, my husband can do that. Lord Harlan of Blue Hills accepted King Edwin the Spring King's peace offer. The Spring Peace. What was he doing? Ooh, another revolt, and of course he lost. The Spring King he's handling things. He's keeping the North together. There's still an attack on the wall, I believe, yeah. No one's really gotten involved yet. And that's still just bodyguard. Let's have a look at the Stark families and just the families of Westeros. And we'll look a bit of Essos while we're waiting for our armies to build up, because looters have destroyed the trade post in Sath. Because we really don't have much else to do till our armies are built up. Personally, aside from looking at events and whatnot. Lawrence of the Night's Watch has inherited the castle of Woods Watch by the Pool, so the commander of there died as they broke out into war. Not very good timing. Laurent Fosso is going to have a fight in his hands, but he should have enough men. Checked in the last episode, and he outnumbered the Wildlings by quite a bit. Avalash has been a leal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in the end of Last Refuge. It would be seen as the right and honorable course to reward him with certain incomes and grants so as to foster greater loyalty. I will bestow a noble title upon him, because this option makes it cheaper to make him a noble. And I also don't have to give him as much money. Chinwalla. Sure, I like that name. I don't mind it. You know what? I'll keep the sigil, the 3 seashells. That's not bad. So he's got his own family now. He's been made nobility, Sarnori nobility, and he's got 2 daughters to carry his line. Let's see if we can find someone to marry his eldest matrilineally. Ishwa Rakesh, my brother-in-law, my husband's brother. Could do, tying all the lines together. Let's do that, if he'll have it, yeah. Ishwa Rakesh to Jithia Chinwalla, matrilineally, of course. Ooh, or do I want to do that? I mean, I already did it, but I... Oh, you're not legitimate. Okay. Oh, wait, you are half-brother. I was thinking that would end the Rakesh line, but I suppose there's no big deal. We made him a noble, didn't we? Oh, wait, no, we married into him because his father was a noble. Of a minor castle. It's fine. Yeah. We'll give that whole land to the Chinwallas. They've served us well. Iron King Heron the Black accepted King Joffrey the Just's peace offer, so did he win that war for the Freylands? He did. Good on Joffrey. The Arryns expanding near the Twins. Control of the Twins would be quite vital here. If the Arryns had that, they would have the entire passage south secured. Or the passage north, depending on which way you're looking at it. Still, very big. Unpause, and let's have a look at some of the nobility. King Edwin, the Spring King of the North, seems quite apt at what he's doing. Very diplomatic, and very good at most things. Married to a Manderly, Mara Manderly. Eldest son, Torrin, who we know very well, the king who knelt. Currently has gonorrhea. Aside from that, looks the same. Married to a Dustin. They have had no kids yet, which is interesting. Because if he dies, his heir, his brother's a bastard, that's right, is his sister, Lynara. Right? Yes. Lynara Stark, who is unmarried. Brandon Snow is married to a Little, but hasn't been legitimized. Husband and wife musician couple has arrived from Lys. Their performances range from vulgar satires to political servants and everything in between, including songs and poems of courtly love. I hope they know Seasons of My Love. This option is available because you have the kind trait, gain 1 intrigue. They'll be paid well, I assure you, in which case I would gain charitable, but we're going to follow the trait we already have, because it does seem to have relevance here. So that's pretty much how Stark. They are in a rough position, only 3 of them alive. The Archon of Tyrush has declared a slave raid on the Stormlands. Interesting. King Joffrey Arryn rules the Mountain of Vale. I believe we've looked at him before. Shara Royce, his wife. Joffrey has formed an alliance with the Storm King. Ooh, that's interesting. That is very interesting. The Vale and the Stormlands allied could mean trouble for the Iron Isles. because they've already been attacked by the Aarons. You know the Durandons would like to get some land there, so they could be in trouble. Marriage between Storm Queen Amanda and Storm King Jon. So it's the king himself. Oh, it's his eldest daughter. So let's have a look. He has 2 alive kids. His eldest, or his only daughter, I suppose, Amanda Arryn, was married to the Storm King. She is the Storm Queen now. She's quite good. There's her husband. We'll look into a little more detail in a bit. My leading my mission to improve your good name has so far been a success. During a visit to the court of Pirate Lord Albar of Grey Gallows, I seem to have managed to make him understand what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you really are. He sends his regards. Okay. That's good, I suppose, but I will need to attack him. So, you know, not great. I do have a liberation caster spelling now to get rid of slavery, if I want to eventually do that on someone. And, Joffrey's son is this one, Mathos Arryn, a 7-year-old. Seems decent stewardship-wise, but he hasn't gotten any, he hasn't gotten a lot of points, you know? He's really only in stewardship. He's really only invested in stewardship, I should say. His marshal's decent, but nothing great. Iron King's claim on Stony Sept has ended. King Daemon of the Rock lost, and so Stony Sept has fallen back into the hands of the Riverlands and Iron King Harrenhal. Can't say that's the worst thing to happen. Makes the borders look a little more normal. But they haven't become too border gory. They've just become kind of interesting so far in this playthrough. Like, the reach is expanded into the north, but it doesn't have, like, little pieces randomly. It's just taking a nice little bite out of Crakehall. Same happened with the Aarons, just kind of expanding through. News from Lys of a new Magister. Good for him. No one else has really expanded from what they start with. Dorne has stayed in place. The Stormlands have stayed in place. Dorne was making a war, I believe. What happened to that? Oh, here it is. They could have the Night Song soon. Oh, but he now has the Aarons on side. Very good marriage from the Storm King, who was in a very precarious position. Obviously, ruling from Blackwater Bay doesn't leave him too much to work with. So let's have a look at the Storm King's family. Jon Durrandon, his wife, the Storm Queen Amanda Arryn. And there's a peasant revolt in the Reach. He has no kids. His heir right now would be Arlen Durrandon, his father who was deposed. He does have a brother, though, who would be second in line, Prince Ormond of Southstone, who is with his father in Stonehenge. Over here. You've been presented with an opportunity to let everyone be reminded of your rulership. If you wish to mint new coins for your realm, there is a master of the craft that you can hire. Not only will the mintage be exquisite, it will be adorned with a glorious portrait of you. Mint the coins for glory. I gain prestige, lose some gold. Debase the mints with less precious metals for profits. I gain gold, gain prestige, gain greedy, and a 25% chance of deceitful. No, there's no need for additional currencies. Now, the prestige boost doesn't do me much gameplay-wise. While these ones are probably a little better. I get more gold. Greedy could be, or would be good, really. And deceitful would probably be good, because, I mean, it would take my diplomacy to 0, but it would make my intrigue passable. Either way, though, that's not how we're doing things. So, she is humble, so I don't think she's minting the coins for glory. You know, she's not doing it out of pride or anything. She doesn't want her face on currency. And I don't think she's greedy. She's kind. She is selfish, though. But no, she's kind enough that she wouldn't debase it with less precious metals just to get profit. So no, there's no additional need for currencies. Not as Lalassa sees it. And there's obviously a lot more in the Storm King's family to look for in his sisters and whatnot. But I'm not really going to look into them too much because they're married. You know what? Let's have a look. There's only 3 of them. 3 more. There's Audrey Durrandon, married to the Lord of Mistwood. They have 1 kid today, Aegon Mertens, who's not even the heir to Mistwood. So her kid's not even getting that. Aliona Durrandon, also married to a great lord in the Stormlands. the Lord of Griffin's Roost in this case, Lord Raymond Connington, who is blind. Alright. They don't have kids. Alana Durandon also married in the Stormlands with the Lord of Galemont, Lord Swigert. And they've had no kids yet as well. Then the youngest, Princess Ellen, who is also in Southstone, as of yet unmarried, over there. We skipped over the air now, so we'll have a look at them now. They rule from over here in Pebbleton. It's a weird thing they seem to do. Is that where the Whore Castle is? I thought it was in Orkmont before. Nettlemont? Appears not. Huzar Karalalasa has been a legal and able servant, having successfully completed many tasks in aid of the last refuge. Be seen as the right and honorable course to reward him with certain incomes and grants. Sure. I'll give Huzor his money. Hair in the Black. Everybody knows him. The guy who got his whole dynasty killed, and who built Harrenhal, but in this case he didn't. It's the God's Fort still. He still rules the Iron Isles. Married twice, now to an Ironborn woman, Arana. Before that to Ashara of King's Tower. And before that to his first wife, Gwyneth Greyjoy. Give him his first two kids. His first two kids being Harwin Hoare, who is half Greyjoy and is the heir to the Isles. Married to an Orkwood. Has one kid, Prince Harwin. He rules in the God's Eye, interestingly enough. So the heir kind of rules here in the God's Fort. Keeps control, I assume, of the Riverlands, while the king rules the Iron Isles. Who knows what their structure is. Money continues to flow through the trade post and last refuge, but your relationship with the Rindoon family from Tyrosh that owns it has soured. To teach them a lesson without going to war, you could arrange for a mob to burn it down. Definitely don't want to do that. I need every trade I can get. And there's the end of the peasant uprising. But let's keep looking at these guys. Second son, also born of a Greyjoy, is Lorne Hoare, who was hanged on the orders of King Daemon. Obviously, that happened when the King of the Rock declared war on the Horse. I think that was a revenge war. I don't quite remember. Or if that might have been for Stony Sept, which they just lost now. But I do know they took Harren and a lot of his family prisoners, killed Gwyneth Greyjoy, or she died in his dungeons, and blinded and killed the kid, Lauren, second in line to the throne. Then from his second wife, Giles, quite a decent little spread here. Decently trained at fighting, 12 years old, yet unmarried. Ralph, who was attractive and quite good at diplomacy, at 7 years old. And the youngest, Bormund, is from his new wife. He is club-footed. So that's the Hoare line. His half-brother died in the wall. Daemon the Monster, King of the Rock. Married, what, once? No, twice. A Lefford, natural death, and now to a peasant woman named Elena. He's had a daughter with her. His eldest heir, Tywin Lannister, was to rule the Rock, and he died of cancer. Married a Westerling who died in the dungeons of the Lord of Seaguard, I assume in that same war with the Ironborn. His second son, now Lorien Lannister, is the heir to the Rock. Not great. He's not great. He's married to his Aunt Jenna, has no kids. He'll have to hope she dies to get a kid. Because other than that, the third heir is Olenna Lannister. They're in a precarious position. 13 years old, unmarried. She'll need to marry matrilineally, you'd think. And then there's Rohan, who's 0. Just newly born off the new wife. Jenna and Tywin has no kids. I'm starting to think Ishan might fancy me. Not making that move. With a 55-year-old priest. Nope. Mern the Ninth of the Reach. Oh god, there's so many here. His eldest son and heir, Prince Edmund Gardner, has been given Craykall. I've talked about this in the last episode. Oh, they have actually given the High Lordship, though, to Sumner Craykall. So, Sumner Craykall, who was the man who originally owned the lands. Oh. I guess they never took it. They just declared a de jure war for it? For Craykall? That doesn't make any sense. I mean, I assume they got the rest of this by just claiming the High Lordship then they took it, but it seems like it was kind of a de jure war or something, because they were able to keep the lord currently under it. So Senator Crakehall is now a vassal, but the castle itself of Crakehall belongs to the Prince of the Reach, Prince Edmund Gardner. He's married to Rosalind Oldflowers. Decent wife. He has a single kid, Princess Rosalind Gardner. Second son, Prince Gawain, married to Lynette Peake, who is ugly and disfigured by Grayskull, but she's still alive. Has no kids, nothing. Well. Let's stop what I was doing with reading the families to focus a bit on this. Aegon II of Dragonstone has invaded the Whispers, so he's finally making a move. He's doing something. And, of course, it'd be Aegon and not his father, right after his father dies. The conquest seemed to be starting now. Visenya's gone to the east, but her brother's not following her. He's going to the west. He's trying to take the Claw Isles right now. The Whispers is a good place to start. So you can take here the entire Cracklaw. What's this called? The Cracklaw Point. Yeah, the entirety of Cracklaw Point. That'd be a nice little starting ground before declaring a war on one of the big kings. We'll see how that goes, how that progresses, whether Targaryen does rise. There's the Lord of Claw Isle dying under suspicious circumstances. Interesting. Don't know who did that. Third son, Prince Gareth Gardner, is quite a fighter and a commander. Unmarried at 22. The fourth son, Franklin Gardner, 9 years old, decent at diplomacy, and is a squire. His two oldest brothers sent to the wall. Prince Horace Gardner serves on the wall as a ranger. And Prince Garth Gardner serves on the wall, also in Castle Black, also as a ranger. His eldest sister, Oline Gardner, married the Florent Lord of Brightwater Keep, as you'd expect. They've had kids. Not going to look into all their kids. Then Garth Gardner, his, the fourth son of King Garth. Decent steward or so. He's moved to Tarbeck Hall to live with his wife at Peake, Margaery Peake. Why he's moved there is beyond me. Potentially to press his claim. He's got a son, Sir Garmin Gardner. Two daughters, Ryla Gardner, married to the Lord of Pain Hall. And Canella Gardner, married to Harris Kenning. And then his other daughter, Princess Clarice, who's as of yet unmarried. And the youngest son, Prince Gwaine of the Reach, who's married to Olenna Redwine. Two kids on him, Mern Gardner, named after his older brother, the king. Quite decent. He's married to Marianne Grey. And then there's also Garth Gardner, unmarried at 19. So that's the whole Gardner line pretty much done with. They're the longest one to talk about. And this has also all been a distraction just to kind of pass the time while we wait to see if our military grows. 200 men there. Could we make a push soon? If the levy was built up there, maybe. But we're about at equal numbers, and I don't like those odds. So we'll probably wait it out. I don't know. You know what? I think it's been a couple of episodes that we've decided to wait it out, so I'm going to leave it to you guys in the comments after this video. Do you think we should attack? And that doesn't necessarily have to be Grey Gallows. We have our other claim made on Rexstone, right, which is weaker. I do think I could probably do that. Do you think we should attack in the next episode? I'm not going to be doing it here even against Rexstone because I'm a little cautious. Their numbers are close, and obviously crossing the crossing penalty could be enough to lose the battle for us. So, yeah. But this would be the logical place to start Rexstone. Of course, it would mean that we wouldn't be able to expand as quickly anyways. It would give us a little more gold and possibly more men, but it wouldn't give us the really quick expansion I was going for, because if I take Grey Gallows, I can take Torturer's Deep just off the bat, off a de jure claim, because I can make the High Lordship. And then in doing that, once I take this, I could just make the Kingdom of Stepstones, right? So if I start with Grey Gallows, I essentially don't stop till Lalassa rules all the stepstones. If I start with Rexstone, I have to take another little waiting period to grow up our armies to then attack Grey Gallows. So, with all that said, what do you think I should do? I do have a little bit of money. Not much, but I still haven't taken a loan. So it could be that I could hire like 500 mercenaries. This isn't bad. Monthly cost is decent. 500 men would be big in the war. I can take a decent loan. So, yeah. Do you think we should attack? And if you do you think we should attack Rexstone or Grey Gallows? Let me know, please. I'm very open to suggestions, because we've kind of just been sitting around waiting to build up our armies. And with all that said, let's go to read the Martells line before I forget. They're the only great house we haven't talked about here in Westeros. Miriam Martell, the brilliant Princess of Dorne. She is fantastic, obviously. Married to Prince Yorick Ironwood. They have one kid, Prince Nimor Martell, who is 42, married to a Durrandon, interestingly enough, but they haven't formed an alliance. The sister of the former king. They have not formed an alliance or a non-aggression pact. Interesting, and they have 4 kids together. Their eldest and the future heir, Corianne Martell. They're still doing Cognatic, yes. Is very bad. She is bad at everything. All her traits are terrible except diligent and honest. Depending on what kind of character you're going for. Honest can be good. And there's Aegon the Dragon King, who we'll actually talk about in a bit. He's taken the Whispers rather quickly, and he grows his dominion. His wife died. Yeah. So Osmond Crabbe, who now has bent the knee to King, or not to King, to Lord Aegon of Dragonstone, who's his liege now, had his wife. Where's she from? Is what I want to see. Alright, guys. So, sorry about that cut. The game just crashed, essentially. The game and my PC, which, as I've explained before, is really fried at this point. And, what happened, essentially, is after it crashed, I got it back up, and it was still at the same point after the PC crashed. It was still at the same point in the game, and, I thought the recording software was working. It was not, so I went on about 3 months or so. It did not capture, and so I'm back here. This was the latest autosave I could get, and it's a month ahead of where that cut came in. So, yeah, essentially for you guys, it's been a month. For me, it's been like half an hour. Which makes it sound like more time has passed for you guys, but yeah, 1 month in-game. And, not much has happened, I'll be honest with you. Things are still pretty much going the same. So, I'll just unpause here and go back to what I was talking about, which was about Osmond's wife, right? So, she's a Summer Islander, and as I was talking about, I was saying Aegon's actually come out and invaded the Whispers, subjugated Osmond Crabbe, and in that war, his wife died in his dungeons, as did his brother, Sir Perkin Crabbe. So that it's pretty damn hardcore from Aegon. he's not taking prisoners. At the age of 73, the King of Sarnath has died, King Parvesh. Another king dead, King Mukesh rules as King of Sarnath. King of Sarnath. Obviously just a title. They've taken Sarnath. Just holds the nearby province. Sarnath was this place they now call Vaish Quejo. Terrible to see. But I don't know that I've gone over the Whoa, this is a good enough excuse. Paris of God's Grace has declared the third war against the tyranny of Princess Miria. Does he have any backing? Oh, yes, he does. He has all of Dorne. Well, almost. Probably be easier to look at who is actually supporting the princess. She's still got 15,000 men. But who does she have backing her? The Lady of Ghost Hill, the Lady of the Great Desert, Lord of Hellholt, Lady of Blackmont, and then the little septons there. So no Great Lord is back here, just minor lords. All of them, none are High Lords. So the Danes are going against them. That's 5,500. The Fowlers are going against them. They've actually lost most of their men fighting that war with the Durandons. The Ironwoods are going against them. No surprise there. 5,000 more. And you have some minor lords there, the Corgils. The Lady Brights, all 1,000, 1,000. The Illyrians. The Vaiths. The Gargalins. The Santagars. The no-named rulers of Plankedown. The Dalts. Quite a couple of men rebelling, but as I was saying, I don't know if before the little crash incident I had talked about the Martell's family, so I'll talk about it now. Hold on, let me... She has a dragon egg still. Alright, so I might have talked about this. I don't know. So yeah, Miria has one kid, Nymor. He's married to a Durandon, the sister of the former king. And they have 4 kids. The eldest, Corianne, is awful. Unmarried as well. She's the future heir. Terrible. Only one with any Martell features. Second-born Corrin has that Durandon black hair. He has cancer. It is ruthless at 14. Is actually... Oh, I thought he was bedridden. He's got a severe illness. He might die from that cancer. Still unmarried. Would be second in line. Third-born Olivia is probably the best candidate out of all their kids. Really good at diplomacy. Quite good at stewardship as well. She's got good learning. Well balanced right now. She's very good. 13. And the youngest Merrick is only 1. So that's the Martell line. Just to make sure that I've now talked about that. Ooh, he's revoked the lordship of Cider Hall from John Fossaway. So Mern Garden getting more power for himself. And there's a peasant revolt there. He'll probably deal with it swiftly. High Lordship of the Mandervale. Ooh, look at that. The Pirate Lord of Grey Gallows died at 52 of depression. And his eldest son was dead, so his younger son, Pirate Lord Elbert, now rules in Grey Gallows. And he's not too good a commander. He's a craven. Decent fighter, it seems. He's got a kid, Armand. Alright. With this, I will end the episode here. So, yeah, sorry again about that crash and about the 1 month you guys had to miss on. It was really doing that or re-recording all of it. And, you know, it was a month where nothing happened. I think it's fine. But, yeah, as I said, if you do have any ideas on what we should do in the next episode, do leave in the comments about the situation with the Grey Gallows Wreckstone claims. Both are manageable in their own ways. If you think I should attack Grey Gallows, let me know. We have about the same men as them. They now have a less militarily groomed leader, I guess. He's less apt at military tactics than his father. So we could maybe beat him in combat. And we do have money to hire mercenaries if need be. The loan we can take out is pretty decent as well, so we could beat them in that way. I don't think they have much money. They do not. Alright, so if you think we should attack Grey Gallows, in which case we would probably keep going for war until we became Queen of the Stepstones, because it would kind of cause a little domino effect there. Let me know. If you think I should instead attack Wreckstone, which is weaker right now, would give me more territory, but then we'd still have to consolidate our power, have another little pause after the war to regain our armies, and then we'd make our move on the Stepstones. If you think I should do that maybe and be a little more patient and just grow our power, let me know. And if you think I should do no war at all and just wait till the armies in Shemal are ready and we have a completely, you know, overwhelming military force, like 1,700 men should be enough to take the Stepstones, realistically speaking, let me know if you think I should do that. Yeah, just leave it in the comments, and as always, I will take all your comments into consideration when I'm trying to make a decision Yeah. That's it for this episode. There is a pox awfully close to us. I don't know if it'll get on the islands, though, but it has gotten on the island of Tyrosh and on the island of Lys. But I don't think we trade too much with them, so hopefully we'll be fine. It's not the trade button. Where is it? Economy? No, I was just looking at trade zones. There we go. Huh. We have some trade with Tyrosh. And Lys nearby as well there. Alright. Wait, no, I was looking at the wrong... I was looking at the wrong islands. Just realized. We have trade here with Mir in Shaymal. And we have trade with Tyrosh in Last Refuge. Okay. Hopefully we don't get the box. But as I was saying, that's it for this episode. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did, do like and subscribe. That'd be great. And I'll see you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.